guys now take 5 for a moment?
On a downtown Toronto street, the everyday world of Canadian teenagers meets the never-never land of network television. Here, fantasy collides with teenage realities of the 80s, from AIDS to zits. This is backstage at the most famous school of awkward adolescence in the world, Degrassi Junior High.
Growing up on Degrassi has been so different and unique.
We all know each other very well. We tell each other our secrets and things like that.
We've captured our teenage years on film. I mean, the amount we've changed from the time I was 13 till the time I was 60. The Great Race. It's incredible.
And the winner is Degrassi Junior High.
November 1988. For the kids' show that graduated to prime time, a stunning sweep of national awards. Degrassi picks up 4 Canadian Geminis, including those for Best Dramatic Series and for Best Actor, Pat Mastroianni.
You're in my seat.
I don't see a name on it.
Arthur, don't make me mad.
Okay, fine.
It looks like a real school. The hallways and all the sounds and all the school bells, it's just a real school because it's not a set. This is a real school where we film.
The Degrassi Schoolhouse was created by producer Linda Schuyler, a former teacher, and director Kit Hood. 12 years ago, they formed Playing with Time Productions, gathered a company of 52 young actors, and began making television from a kid's point of view.
You know, it's great to be back here.
Their idea was that kids' TV could have a funny bone and still deal with the tough, tender issues of growing up.
For the most part, there are no subjects that we say are taboo. I think it's very important that sexual matters, death, whatever are the human emotions and experiences that are liable to confront all of us as we pass through ages and stages in our life, as long as it's discussed in a healthy and wholesome manner, I don't think there's any topic that can't be discussed.
She takes care of Emma during the day, and then at nighttime I take care of her baby. That's why I can never go out anywhere.
There's a lot of shows on TV that have teenagers, and the teenagers run around and they do their hair and file their nails and chase boys, and that's
worry
all.
about their zits,
and that's all they do, and that's not that all teenage life is like. And people, you can't. It's good that there's something realistic on TV.
Sometimes Degrassi is so realistic it hurts. Joey shops for condoms for a disastrous first date. Melanie fears she's too flat-chested for the swim team. Snake finds out his brother is gay. And Lucy is caught shoplifting.
I'll take the bag.
Degrassi's head writer, Jan Moore.
Kids make a lot of mistakes, and kids experiment a lot. Kids get caught a lot, and sometimes they don't get caught, they get away with something, but it costs them in another way. So there are consequences.
My friends watch it. They tell me, they say that the show is really good because they don't find an easy way out. They tell the kids, or they at least try to help the kids with those problems.
And they give the kids choices. Like, they're not telling you, you have to do this if this and this happens to you. They give a variety of choices, and the kids can learn from the different choices, or they can decide.
Look, well, I'm sorry. I was dumb. I have to go to court. I guess I'm in a lot of trouble.
Like, some days it's nice to watch a TV show that has no basis in reality and it's really floating. You think, wouldn't it be nice if life were like that? But also, realism is really good, too. Like,
and it's not all heavy. Like, as you can see, Degrassi's a funny show. It's not like, well, she has epilepsy and she's pregnant and, you know, he's in a coma. It's not always heavy issues. There's a lot of humor mixed in.
I've got a friend who's 12 years old. He gets a lot of wet dreams. Is he a pervert? I'm not a pervert. You're a chicken is what you are.
In this series, we try to give as many kids going through as many experiences just to say to these other kids, you're not alone. It's happening to everybody. Just because you're concerned, just because you're scared that you're having wet dreams, it's okay. It's okay.
So tell your friend he's perfectly okay. He's not a pervert. He's not an animal out of control.
Okay, do you want to pass these out and leave them face down?
A house in East End, Toronto. Here, the jokes, the ideas, even the issues in the show are all molded by a process unique to Degrassi.
Okay, just before we start reading, we've had a lot of discussion. Would you just take a moment to forget who you are and remind yourself that you are a character, Degrassi Junior High, and let's begin reading. Black and white. Outside of the school. Show titles and the kids arrive. Alexa and Michelle approach together.
Linda Schuyler guides the players through the first reading of the script. They've been at their own real-life schools all week. Now, at this workshop, they find out what the show's producers and writers have been up to. What's in store for the fictional characters they play.
It's because I'm black, right?
No, it isn't. They're not like that. They're just kind of overprotective.
This episode's theme is interracial dating. Michelle has been asked to the graduation dance by BLT. Her parents object. After the read-through, the floor is open for the actors' reviews, and the pros pay careful attention as the kids say what they think.
Okay, do you believe that racism still exists today? Are we dealing with an issue, or are we dealing with a non-issue? Who wants to pick that one up?
At the end, you know, what she's doing right now, it's not really rebelling, in my opinion, because she doesn't stand up to her parents. She's just going to hide it.
Yeah.
And it's not hard to do that.
Maybe BLT
If she,
Maybe that would be the better thing to do.
No, but if she was...
Or she could end up standing up to him that way without me having to say anything.
Yeah, but she's still like no, and she goes no, and then BLT started like, okay, that I don't care.
When we're at those read-throughs, Yan plays an incredibly crucial role. He's listening, he's writing, he hears how they say it in their own vernacular. It's just a wonderful example of the adult, the professional talents of an adult merging with the raw, open emotions of the adolescent.
They're adults. Kit, Linda, and Yan are 30s, and they, and you know, we're right there. We're in high school right now. In terms of script input, I think we have like a fresh perspective. We're living it right now, and we know what it's like, and we stop them from making it into the 50s all over again and going back to their own childhood.
I could picture BLT at the end going to pick her up in front of her parents and dragging her, well, not dragging her. I mean, like...
7:45 a.m., the Degrassi set. 15 minutes from first call and no time to spare. Most of these kids had never acted before Degrassi, and their freshness is part of the show's art. It's major league television, but the glamour, such as it is right out of basement theatricals.
The guys will just, I mean, they'll brush their hair in the morning, and then maybe they'll just give it a quick brush when they get here. And the girls do their own makeup. We don't have our own makeup people, because it's looking phony when you have, you know, like tons of makeup on, trying to make yourself and your hair all nice and hairsprayed, and when you look more natural, it's helping the show.
All right, now, girls, don't anticipate the end of this scene. You're all going to be...
I think a lot of the naturalism comes from the crew,
at the beginning, right?
that we work with a very small crew, and there isn't a lot of fussing. It's sort of seat of the pants.
Here we go. Roll sound, Irv.
And we're running. 76, take 3. Mark it, and that's good.
And action, Michelle.
We want to be polished. We don't want to be slick. And I think a lot of it comes with the performers, that we're very aware of them. And I get feedback from them all the time. And there's a lot of conversation that goes on, and you know, you can't be that involved with all those kids and not stay young. You know, we think the way they do. A lot of the time.
I don't want to make any deals because he has all the blocking properties.
Between takes, the young actors catch up on their off-camera lives, cramming the normal pursuits of growing up into a few idle minutes. Degrassi actors work an average of 10 days a month from May to December. It's a big chunk of time in a teenage life, and the set becomes a second home. In it, they're the family.
We are continuing in the resource center.
So chances are the only people that are going to be used are the grade 9s.
Sari, who's our production manager and scheduler, it's a nightmare for her, scheduling around 52 different kids, having different sets of exams and different graduation nights and this and that. But she's brilliant at it. And I think that by her being able to do that and by us having a crew that will accommodate the kids' schedule, that they are living as much as possible the normal life of a teenager and not that of a movie star.
Movie stars, for instance, don't get grounded for breaking rules, which can still happen in the private lives of these kids. Even on the job, as they admit, they're not always angels.
When you have 52 kids, I mean, there's bound to be some trouble, some chaos, and sometimes I think the adults have got to look at that. I mean, if there are